Hello, and welcome back to the end of another week for Trilogy Month, where we have now, with this video, finished the Star Wars series. Kind of. I mean, there's still the 2008 Clone Wars movie for me to review, um, which I haven't seen since it came out in 2008. Then I still have Solo, a Star Wars movie to watch for the very first time, as well as Rogue One. But as of having Star Wars in, say, Trilogy Month, that's it. This will be it. So, The Rise of Skywalker. What did I think? Because this is my second time watching this, and I enjoyed it. I really did. I thought it was, a like, okay. Let me just take a deep breath and do this properly. So, like I've been saying since The Force Awakens, this trilogy could have been better if it was handled better. And that being, they actually had a plan of what they were going to do, what was going to happen in each movie. That way we'd have like a satisfying arc. Because we set some things up with Force Awakens. A lot of that was member berries. We had The Last Jedi, which I thoroughly enjoyed. It again set some things up, and but with some prior knowledge of the events of this movie, kind of put some things into question on, is Ray really a nobody, or was that just Snoke, manipulating things, or hell, even Palpatine manipulating things, to make it appear as if Ray was a nobody. And but yeah, it still was so handled poorly that now Kevin Feige, not Kevin Feige, is it Kevin? No, 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 that's Marvel. Dave Filoni, is the one picking up the pieces and trying with the new Star Wars material that we're getting, the TV series and all that, is trying to get us to the point that makes it make sense for how Palpatine came back, which is what the Clone Wars did for the prequel trilogy. Took 7 seasons to expand. We got to see stuff. Got to see where how our characters ended up where they were for Revenge of the Sith. So yeah, like I said, I enjoy it. I enjoy this movie. Does it deserve some of the hate that it gets? Absolutely. Like the line somehow Palpatine has come back. I agree. It has to be one of the worst lines in cinema history. Now, I definitely think there probably would have been more to this movie, but unfortunately, before The Last Jedi came out, um, we had the unfortunate passing of Carrie Fisher. Granted, we do have Carrie Fisher in this movie, because I'm not sure if she had filmed some of her bits before her passing, or it was just green screening on a face and using some stitching together some lines, but still, it was nice to see her. And again, with this movie, we do get to see more of Rey's dark side come out. Especially when it comes to when she's in contact with Ben Solo, because one of the scenes we do see that she does anytime Ben or her the dyad is intertwined, she definitely seems a lot more angry, which we do see in the training sequence when Ben is holding his hand over the charred remains of Vader's helmet, trying to communicate with her through the Force. She definitely does get a lot angrier, which is when the training droid starts to shoot at her. She tries to hit it with the lightsaber. That doesn't happen. And so eventually she gets it with the staff, but at the same time ends up dropping a tree on BB-8. Which, speaking of BB-8, that's something I didn't really bring up. I can't remember if I brought up in my The Force Awakens review. Definitely didn't do it in The Last Jedi. I do not like BB-8. He is just a pair of testicles. Just one is bigger than the other. Um, Yeah, I never liked BB-8. I never grew attached to BB-8. I don't see him as cute and adorable. He's just not that for me. So when the Falcon comes back with Poe, uh, Finn, and Chewie, we do get, as I said, that line of somehow Palpatine returned, and yeah. So correct me if I'm wrong, and please do correct me if I'm wrong. I think bringing back Palpatine was done in some extended universe books. I believe I remember watching a video prior to them actually bringing Palpatine back that there was a book series where there were a ton of clones of Palpatine, and so that's how he came back, and it was up to Luke to then stop him with Ben, and I think Luke's own children, because I do know in some of the extended universe books, Luke does have kids, um, which is a shame they didn't actually bring that in for this movie. There's also apparently a spy within the First Order who turns out to be General Hux, which kind of comes out of left field. But then again, I guess not really, considering the fact that he, in the last movie, after Supreme Leader Snoke was killed, Hux thought that he was next in line to be the Supreme Leader, until Ben or Kylo was like, "Haha, you thought wrong, bitch." Um, so decent lightsaber fights, when between them, when the dyad is for kind of doing that split mirror thing where they can see each other in their surroundings but not where the other person is, but they can still take things. We also do get to see Lando Calrissian come back, which is always good to see. Billy D. Williams, because I definitely like Lando from Return of the Jedi. So again, we finally get to Exegol, where Palpatine is. It turns out that Rey's father was Palpatine's son. Now, someone can please correct me if I'm wrong on this. Because I know he's technically Palpatine's son, but I think he's also like a clone of Palpatine. I remember seeing somewhere mentioning that that wasn't force sensitive, but once um, the Palpatine son did father Rey, that's where the force sensitivity went into Rey. But so again, someone please do correct me if I'm wrong. Um, we also finally get to see force healing. The one thing that Anakin really could have used to save Padme, which probably, if he had known about that and that was a thing, potentially he probably wouldn't have gone down the dark side. But then again, he did. Probably would have regardless anyway, because with the way he was groomed. So yeah, the final showdown between Rey and Palpatine, as well as Kylo versus the Knights of Ren, is it's good to see him try to take them out without a lightsaber until, of course, Rey uses they use the dyad to transfer the repaired Anakin, Luke, and Rey's lightsaber to Ben, and then of course Rey uses Leia's lightsaber, which is something I'm glad that they made canon in this. That Leia was also force sensitive, because we didn't get to see any of that in the original trilogy. And there was, of course, that scene in The Last Jedi where she's out into space, but she somehow manages to, reach out and pull herself back in, which I know there is a theory about that potentially that she was force sensitive. This now confirms it. Interesting as well that she had her lightsaber was blue, but then again, blue is the most common lightsaber color when it comes to crystals. Though again, I'm not. It's probably synthetic crystal, because I'm pretty sure when again please do correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not well versed in most of the Star Wars lore, comics wise, books wise. I'm pretty sure that the planet that held all the kyber crystals, where the younglings went to, I think that was. I'm pretty sure the Emperor destroyed that or used that to power up the original Death Star. But again, someone please do correct me if I'm wrong. So I would have liked to have seen Ben survive. I definitely would have liked to seen him continue on, continue with Ray, see them have a family, have a child. I would have liked to see that, but thinking now on this rewatch of Ben is barely holding on as if had Palpatine not tried to suck out the life force from their dyad, Ben probably could have survived. Um, but oh well. And then of course we get the final scene, which pissed a lot of people off, of when Rey returns to Tatooine and buries Anakin, Luke's, and her lightsaber, as well as Leia's lightsaber. And when she's asked who she is, she says she's Rey Skywalker. That pissed a lot of people off. I I just don't care. I don't care if that's what she wants to be known as instead of Ray Palpatine. Um, and hell, like I said, had Kylo survived, they would have gotten married, and she would have become Ray Skywalker through marriage anyway. But that's that. I've enjoyed this franchise. The sequel trilogy. As I drop my pen, I have enjoyed the sequel trilogy a lot more than I thought I was going to. And that just goes to show that when I don't listen to you know everyone's opinions, negative opinions about something, and I go in, switch off my mind, and not focus on things, I can actually enjoy these movies. Like I said in my review, I love The Force Awakens. However, it is just a New Hope ripoff. I really enjoyed The Last Jedi. I thought it was a good movie. Is it the worst? No, that's Attack of the Clones. Um, there were something that I didn't mention in my review for The Last Jedi. There were parts of it that felt like Empire and Return of the Jedi to me, in certain scenes. And then this one, I enjoy it for what it is. And was it a smart idea bringing Palpatine back? Absolutely not. And this is what I've been saying when I've been reviewing these movies. Had they had a plan from the get go, it would have been a lot better. But with saying that, this does have me looking forward to the Rey trilogy that of movies that we'll be getting at some point in the future, because I do enjoy Rey. I do like her as a character, um, as well Finn. I really hope when that with the Rey trilogy he comes back. John Boyega comes back, and he is a fucking Jedi, like he should have been from the first fucking movie. And I think in this, there was a scene where they're falling in quicksand, where Finn was like, "Rey, I should have told you something," and I think it was said in either the books or that it was intended to be that he thinks he's force sensitive, or it could have been just him professing his feelings for Ray, you know. But then again, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. So let me know what you thought of the Rise of Skywalker in the comments down below. Not only that, let me know what you thought of the overall sequel trilogy, and I shall see you all on Monday as we get very close to the end of trilogy month for my review of the very first Spy Kids movie, which I'm actually going to be watching on VHS. So I finally get to fucking use that thing that's behind me there. So anyway, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all on the next upload.